Hey, you are tuned in live with Simply Real, Danielle and Kat. Oh, look, we have a bit of a live studio audience today, which I think is great. Make sure you catch their show. It comes on before ours. I want to make sure I say it right. Is it Leality? Leality. I can't even read. Okay. Leality. That's a dope name. I like that. It's like reality, but Leality. Is that your name, Lee? All right, Leality. Make sure you tune into that. It was absolutely hilarious. Danielle and I were watching it earlier, and I almost cried my mascara out because it was so funny. But anyway, so you're tuned into Simply Real with Danielle and Kat, bringing you pop culture and relationship advice with a little bit of celebrity stuff in there as well. Shout outs to BMW of Freeport. Make sure you check out our man, Alvin Peters. And get yourself a BMW, the ultimate driving machine, right? You also you can get one of those little BMW waters as well. Better than Poland Spring, right? All right. Any shout outs?
Shout outs to our listeners. Of course, please subscribe to our channel, Simply Real, REEEL. And we'd love to hear from you. Any feedback, comments, just leave us a note and we will talk about whatever you want to hear.
Exactly. As long as it's positive, we'll respond. If it's not, we don't want to hear it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So we have some interesting topics to talk about today. We are going to talk about a couple of books, and they are by a very accomplished writer named Tasher and Tony Hayes. Can we show that pic of Tasher and Tony Hayes? Okay, so these are the books. It's a book series. They've got emotional support for the newly divorced. So I guess that's number one. Practical support for the newly divorced. And then they have dating after divorce. Turning lemons into zesty sorbet. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
It's not sherbet?
No, sorbet.
Sherbet, right, okay. So it's a 3-part book series, but let me give you a little bit of background about the author. So Tasher was divorced on her 26th wedding anniversary. That's a long time to be married, 26 years.
It's a good run.
See, my question with that a lot of times is, how many years were you actually happy? Was it 8?
I don't know. But what else about her?
Okay, so divorced on her 26th wedding anniversary. Very unfortunate. But she embarked on a new life. She decided to turn those lemons into a zesty sorbet. I'm so tempted to say sherbet, whatever. All right, so her marriage was broken into a whole bunch of Reese's Pieces, and she decided to, embark on the single life. But the only thing is, after being married for this long of a time period, you get back into the dating world. It's almost like being in prison, and then you go back into regular society and regular culture. You don't know what the hell is going on. You're like, huh? What's a cell phone? It's the same with dating. You're like, what's with these dudes offering coffee?
Yeah, the good old Starbucks first date.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into that later. That was just weird. All right, so like many, she was, initially scared because this is something that she was embarking on for the first time. But she was determined to become divorced and scared no more. And, she started a website and it gathered a large following. The website is www.dasnm.com. So, it stands for Divorce and Scared No More. It's just the acronym into a website. And it's got a large following. She's got books. They're easy to read. And we're going to talk about some of the key points in the books that she has. Because, even if you're not divorced, they could be helpful to you in your life. Because we all, if we're not married, we still kind of divorce things in our lives. We divorce jobs. We divorce people. We divorce friends. And we have a few YouTube videos on that about divorcing friends. Check us out, YouTube at Simply REEL. That's EEL Real. We have a whole video talking about fake friends and, the whole epidemic of fake friends. But anyway, back to Divorced and Scared. So the first book is called Emotional Support for the Newly Divorced. And, she talks about two types of forgiveness. There is release and acceptance. Right? So release is ignoring and blocking. So this book suggests that you write a letter to your ex. Have you heard of this before, writing a letter to your ex?
No, I have. It helps you internalize all the hurt and pain that you've gone through. And the letter really helps you heal.
Why? I don't get it.
Where you're just letting out all of that negative energy. You're letting the person know how they made you feel. And this is my departure and I'm moving on. I'm releasing these negative energies and I wish you the best and I'm moving on.
Okay, but what's the point if they never read it?
Well, you've done your part. So I would feel good knowing that I did my very best to release those negative energies, let that person know how I felt, and it's off my chest.
Therapeutic?
Yes.
Right? Maybe you could burn it. Maybe you could put it in one of those lanterns that they have in Thailand and just like send it out into the air, right?
Right.
Yay.
But just getting it out there, just getting that negative energy out there and releasing it.
Let me release my emotions. Let me write something down. Let
Okay.
me write it down. Let me release it into the air, into the energy, right? Okay, I can see that. It's more like mentally, it's more spiritually. I can see that. Mm-hmm. I like that. Yeah, so, that's one of the types of forgivenesses that the book talks about, and it takes you through the steps on how to do that, how to release those negative emotions. And I guess it's just like keeping a diary. Did you keep a diary when you were
Of
younger?
course.
You
Of
did?
course. With the lock and key.
You were one of those girls like, Dear Diary.
No, I got straight to the dirt, but I had a diary for many, many, many years.
What's your question?
Why did you choose this book to present in your radio show?
You know why? Because they paid us. And, they reached out to us. And, I looked at it and I said, hey, this is great material. So, this is something that we can talk about and this can help our viewers. Good question.
I was seeing how it influenced maybe your life, maybe why you thank you for the answer.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the book is really relatable. I think anyone on any level can read it and it doesn't go over your head. It's a very easy read. I think the tips are great. I don't want to give the book away because we want you to purchase the book on Amazon. You can look for a book there, but it was very, very insightful.
Yeah, definitely easy to read. The one thing I liked about the book is that everything that was written, it wasn't just a bunch of BS.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually confirmed by, a licensed clinical mental health social worker.
Right.
So these are people that are trained in psychology and know, how the human mind thinks. So, when they're writing stuff like that, if someone like that with those types of credentials can confirm it, then that makes it more simply real. Right?
Exactly.
It's not just a bunch of, crap coming from someone's head.
No.
So, I definitely like that. But another type of forgiveness that it talks about is not just release, is acceptance. And I thought this one was kind of weird. So release is taking the person out of your life, but acceptance is bringing the person back into your life. So I'm thinking, why would you want your ex or, your ex-husband or whatever, or your ex-wife, why would you want them back in your life?
They could be a friend. I think you've said on past shows it's possible to be friends with your exes. So I think in this case, not having enemies, just keeping that person around as a friend. You've shared many years. I think hers was 20-something years. So you would think you'd be able to be friendly with this person.
Yeah, that too. The other thing that crossed my mind is like, okay, maybe you have kids involved. Yeah, those kids complicate everything.
Yeah,
right.
That's tough.
So they kind of maybe need mom and dad to
get along.
Yeah, hello. And studies show that kids who grow up, with a father are healthier, have a better self-esteem, especially young girls.
Absolutely.
So I think that's really important. To bring the person back into your life. And the book talks about how to do that, the steps that you have to take in order to do that.
Absolutely.
Which I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Because your first instinct is to get rid of your ex. You're divorced. It didn't work out. Get out of my face, right? But bringing them back in, this book will tell you how to do that. Yay!
So definitely check this book out, guys. Well worth the money. It's a series, actually.
It's a series, and part 2 for the book is practical advice for the newly divorced. We have yes, practical advice for the newly divorced. That's part 2, and it talks about comparing your divorce with death. Who dies in the divorce? Does someone really die?
Well, spiritually, maybe.
Spiritually, emotionally,
right.
They die.
Right.
It does. Yeah. It talks about, there's like steps to a grieving process. It talks about a natural period of grief. This isn't something that you can just hide. You can just store in the pit of your stomach.
No.
And then it gets, all unhealthy and uncomfortable. And this could lead to physical effects too, like high blood pressure, stress, You
can literally make yourself sick over a relationship and, harboring unforgiveness. So with this book, again, it teaches you the steps to take to get through a divorce. Happy, healthy, and no wrinkles.
No wrinkles, just Botox. Botox.
Yeah.
Botox. All right. But yes, it tells you how to be healthy, how to take care of your body, because all of this stuff is important. I remember reading an article because I used to read magazines, as a teenager. I subscribed to 17. What else was popular back then when we were growing up? Teen Vogue.
Mm-hmm. You had all the hip hop magazines.
YM. Do you remember YM?
Yes.
Yes. YM. So all that stuff, I was reading that, as I was growing up. And I remember one article that they had in there. It was the physical effects of a breakup, which is very similar to a divorce.
Right.
But a divorce is only a worse breakup. And, I didn't get it back then because, I didn't have a boyfriend. I didn't understand relationships. I'm like, what do they mean physical effects? Your head starts hurting.
Right. Or you lose your hair.
Can't eat.
Yeah.
Or sometimes all you'd want to do is sit around and eat.
Guilty.
Well, I'm the other one. So I can't eat. If I'm upset, I cannot eat. But yeah, this book walks you through, how to deal with those types of things and, acknowledging your feelings, not ignoring them, your finances after a divorce. But this actually surprised me because it said that men suffer more financially after a divorce.
That's interesting.
I think it'd be the opposite.
I'm not sure, but callers, call in. Those of you who have been through a divorce, we'd love to hear from you. We have a caller now, actually.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, you're live with Simply Real. State your name and where you're calling from.
This is Dimitri.
Hey, Dimitri, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Brooklyn.
Hey,
Brooklyn.
my hometown. Hey. All right, Dimitri, what's up?
Not much. I just wanted to talk about Birdman, and if you guys had heard about what was going on.
We heard bits and pieces, but what's up with Birdman?
So, apparently what's been happening is that there's this show called The Breakfast Club, and it's run by Charlemagne the God.
Love The Breakfast Club.
DJ Envy, and then this other person, I forget her name. And apparently over the years, what has happened is that several individuals, rappers and impresarios, have come on the show in order to discuss their dealings, misdealings with Birdman. Now, Birdman runs, I think, like a company. I think it's Cash Money Records.
Is he Cash Money? Yeah, he is Cash Money. Okay.
Yeah. And so there's been a lot of, hype. Well, if you're a businessman, your reputation is crucial to, who you're going to do business with. And so what's going on is that Birdman's supposed to have an interview on The Breakfast Club, and they knew he was going to kind of attack some of these rumors. And he comes into it, and he starts to go on. I can't even do the imitation, but he's like, put some respect on my name. Put some respect on my name. And what happened is that, I started seeing this on memes everywhere. I'm like, what is this? I saw like a picture of some dude putting some putting some ketchup, and it said like on this meme, put some respect on my name. The word name was on like a hamburger or something like that. And I have never, and the pictures from that have become like iconic in the past like 4 or 5 days. But here's the thing that I think is really weird. This is what's really peculiar to me. Everybody who has been criticizing Birdman for his overreaction to this knows in their heart of hearts that they were a business person, and on the radio, somebody was criticizing them and making like slanderous accusations about like their deals. They would be pissed off too.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like there's this like kind of hypocrisy where all my friends on Facebook, they're like, oh, look at how funny Birdman is, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, all of you know that you have like fought people for far less.
Right.
You know that like you have fought people for far less than what he did, which was like going on a show and being like, look, guys, you're a popular show, and you're pretty much telling people that I don't spend money on my employees, that I don't pay people correctly, that I don't do this, I don't do that. And I'm like, all of you guys know you've been more petty than that. You know you've gone further than that and been more petty than that for fewer things.
Absolutely.
And you got a guy here
definitely.
now who's like sitting there mad. There's like, put some respect on my name. Are you finished? Or are you finished or are you done?
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely. But thank you, Dimitri, for your call.
Okay.
I heard about that story earlier, and I read about it actually. It was quite hilarious. But he's just frustrated that people are talking, and it's not good talk. So he wants some respect. you gotta cut it off a little bit. Okay.
Respect. But that's the thing. Reputations. I mean, they're so important. And I feel like even in relationships, you can lose your reputation really quickly, especially, if you break up with someone, your relationship is basically, especially if it's a bad breakup.
Yeah. And I think celebrities have the worst end of the stick because, we get to see every minute detail of their relationships and their business dealings and their failures. So I think, it's really hard when you have all of your business out there on the streets. It's really difficult.
Absolutely. And yeah, like I said, with celebrities, it's worse because we tend to believe the negative things that we hear about them a lot of times because it's like proof. It's like, hey, you're not perfect.
Right.
Hello.
You're live with Simply Real.
Simply Real, what's going on? It's your boy Alvin Peters. Letting you know that I'm loving the show, loving the t-shirts.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alvin.
Well, I actually want to chime in. You said something about forgiveness earlier, right?
Oh, absolutely. That is, part of the book series we're talking about, emotional support for the newly divorced. There's two types of forgiveness.
I think, in my personal opinion, I think that when you're forgiving someone, that even if that person has done wrong to you, your forgiveness is more for you than for them. It is to allow you to let whatever feelings that you have, whether it's anger, whether it's sadness, whether it's being miserable, it's you not forgiving them. It is you forgiving them, but you forgiving them is more for you than it is for them.
Right.
Because you need that self-healing for yourself. And what happens is when you don't allow yourself to forgive, then you build resentment, and then you can't move on, and then you can't close that chapter of that period of your life, and then you can't, and that's where that extra baggage comes in play, where you have that baggage and you're not allowing the other individual who may be a part of your life, kind of be a part of your life in certain ways because you haven't forgave the other person. So I strongly believe that when you're forgiving someone, it's more for you than for them.
Oh, absolutely.
Totally agree.
Thank you, Alvin. Yeah, and it's releasing, because when you're angry at someone, it's almost like they have some sort of like
hold on you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
like power.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. And it's like you're upset and they're living their lives, not even thinking about you. So it's like, I don't want to spend my time being upset.
Yeah, they have an emotional and mental hold over you, and it's like if you see that person in public, or if you think about that person, you feel a certain way. So once again, the forgiveness is always for you and not for them, and it allows you to heal better as an individual, as a person, as a lover, as a friend, so you can move forward with your life.
Yes.
And be accepting whoever's going to be a part of your new life.
Yes.
Well said.
Thank you, Alvin. Thanks for those awesome words of advice.
And ladies, you look wonderful. Like I said, I love the t-shirts. They're making me look bad.
Oh, actually.
Now they come here and with my t-shirt.
Yeah, you do. Get it right.
It's going to say Thug Life.
I was a thug.
Well, I'll keep viewing. I'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
All right, later.
Yeah, it definitely becomes a little bit more selfish because like when you stay mad at people, like even in a divorce, when you stay mad at people, that will give you some freaking stress.
Yeah, that
You
we
know?
don't need.
Yeah, you got to take some yoga on that, right? Release all that stress.
But on a lighter note, let's talk about what we've been watching this past week.
I ain't been watching nothing.
Well, I am an NBA fanatic. I have been watching the playoffs
Hey. All right, bye.
every single night. And my Knicks didn't make it. So really, I have no allegiance to who's playing now. But I mean, I root for the underdog. So I'm going for OKC. I mean, I don't want to see, the same teams win every single year. So I'm hoping that an underdog can really just come through.
Come through, underdogs. We're rooting for you.
Yes.
Yes. Put that ball in the basket.
What
Right?
were you listening to?
Man, you put me on the spot. No, look, I'm the type of person, like when I hear songs that I like, I will be listening to them for the next 10 years. So I'm basically jamming to whatever we talked about last week.
Okay.
And I still haven't moved on from that. I'm still loving Selena Gomez. I think she's got a great album. I love that Pantene Pro V commercial where she's talking about how she can't keep her hands to herself. yeah, right? Oh, I love Selena. But, I'm still listening to Bieber, still listening to Kanye.
Okay.
Yeah. What
I'm
are you
listening to Calvin Harris. I'm loving his single "Thinking About You." Love, love, love it. Chris Brown has a new single called "Wrist." I'm kind of feeling that one too.
Love Breezy.
And of course, Beyonce's Lemonade album. And it just makes me feel like my man is cheating on me and I don't even have one.
No, you know what? I'm really feeling that this whole Lemonade thing, I feel like it's a conspiracy. I don't know, because like now there's all these rumors circulating about Jay-Z and people are trying to like find out who he's, messing with. And I mean, it's just getting crazy. Like the Beehive, they're going in on everybody.
I know, but speaking of the Beehive, do you guys think that Beyonce should make a statement that they should stop cyberbullying? Because they really go in.
They do. You would think that she pays them money. Like
Right.
these people go so hard for Beyonce
Right.
on Instagram, on Facebook, especially Twitter.
Right. They send threats to people's families. I mean, I think she should make a
Yeah.
statement to say, you know what? Stop the cyberbullying, because she has a daughter and she wouldn't want that to be happening to her family.
Yeah, and my thing is, it just shows how hard people go for these huge stars.
Yeah.
When people relate to these huge stars and you talk about them, you say something bad about them, it's almost like they take it personal.
Right. And the star doesn't even know you, doesn't even know you exist.
Yeah, it's not like Beyonce's cutting these people checks. I mean, if Beyonce was cutting me a check, trust me, I would go hard for her.
Absolutely.
But I love Beyonce. I think she's great. But, I could care less what people say about her.
Absolutely.
It is what it is.
It's her marriage. It's,
Yeah.
her situation. I think she knew what she was getting into when she married Jay-Z. So I'm not surprised with all the circulating rumors.
And Jay-Z, honestly, I mean, he's a rapper. He's been, in the game with all these, video vixens and everything. Who's that girl who wrote that book?
Superhead?
Yes, Superhead. She was like claiming Jay-Z like really hard a few years ago.
Not surprising.
Yeah, so we know what type of individual he is. He even mentioned in his song that he wasn't getting that many girls, and now all the wavy light skinned girls are liking him now.
Right.
You know, like, boy, bye.
I mean, the album is great. It's just so unfortunate that you can hear her sadness and unhappiness in her relationships. So even though it's good music, it's also a little sad.
Or is she acting? Do you think she's acting?
I think she really feels this way. I think it's just now she's coming out about it, but I think she's really unhappy.
You know, if it's real, I can really appreciate that because, you know, we see these, you know, A-list, you know, top shelf celebrities, and a lot of times we assume that they have perfect lives and perfect marriages. And even when I say things like this, you know, when I'm at work, you know, like, oh, Beyonce's getting cheated on, you know, people can't believe it. You know, they quickly correct me and they say, no, she's not. Her and Jay-Z look so happy, but that's the key term, look.
Right.
Yeah, of course you have to look
You have to
happy.
keep up
You're in the
appearances.
spotlight.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But, you know, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And at the end of the day, these are just regular people.
Absolutely. With money.
Regular
Lots of it.
people with lots and, you know, tons of money. You know, and they're exposed more. So maybe there's even more of a chance of them, you know, being with other individuals. So...
Well, good luck, Beyonce, whatever you decide to do.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Michael Strahan and Kelly.
Strahan.
Did you hear about that? So basically, he is claiming that he was sick and tired of being bullied by Kelly. So he decided to move on from the live show, and he will be joining a new show. I think his last day is May 13th, I believe. So basically, she is really upset. She feels disrespected that the show didn't even bother to tell her of Michael's departure. And I'm hearing that she was basically jealous that once he came on board, he took her shine. So she's really, really feeling away.
Boo-hoo, Kelly.
Yeah, but you know, he's moved on. He's making more money. So good luck. I wish you all the best and good for you.
And this is another example of, you know, things looking nice on TV, but really behind closed doors, it's a different story. You know, there's all this, you know, disagreements and all that, and people not getting
Wouldn't
along.
you want to know, like, how would you feel if she announced in the middle of the show that she was not returning anymore to this show?
I would be really disappointed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So regardless of what happened, that was really not a good way of going about things, you know? Like, that's really, to do that and just for her to find out live on air with millions of people watching her, that's not cool.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it definitely didn't go about it the right way, you know?
Yeah, definitely
But-
not classy, but who knows? Maybe they just wanted to make good TV or something. I don't know.
No, she's really upset. She didn't come in for like a week after the announcement. So, and he had to get like fill-ins, just random fill-ins. So she's not taking the news good at all.
She'll be all right.
She will.
She got money. She'll be good.
So congratulations to Angela Simmons. She announced on her Instagram page that she
Yay.
is engaged. But oddly, she didn't say who she was engaged to. She just showed the
No.
picture of the ring. And
Mystery.
yeah, I feel like your
What's going on, Angela?
partner should be at the forefront, not your ring per se. But I see that that's what's important to most people nowadays instead of
You know what?
who your
These-
partner.
With these people, it becomes a publicity stunt at this point. They're like, they want to get it. You know, they got us talking. So they want to
Right.
get more people talking. It's like, oh, who's she going to get married to? Ooh,
I think we
look
have a
at that
picture of the ring actually. I think we have her
Oh,
Instagram
where
post.
is it? Hey.
Yes. So there are speculations that she's engaged to NFL star Rashid Jennings, who she's been dating for quite a while. So if that's the mystery man, congratulations, Angela.
Congratulations. Look, that's a good ring. It takes up like almost her whole finger.
It's a pretty
If
ring.
she jumped into the ocean, she would go right to the bottom with that. It's huge.
Yeah, I hope that works out. I'm happy for her.
Yay.
And have you heard about all the drama concerning Christy Teigen?
Yes.
So basically, she's getting mom shamed for going out to dinner with her husband, John, during the first week of their daughter's birth.
That is so weird.
A lot of people feel she should be home barefoot, taking care of her baby, instead of being out and about with her husband. So she got on Instagram to clap back. And basically, she's like, listen, if you want to give me advice on a damn cereal that I eat, what I wear, you better unblock your profile so I can see your perfection.
Chrissy. You know what? I don't know how I feel about this because, you know, if I just had a baby, that would probably be the only thing that I'm thinking about. And I would
Right.
just tune out the whole world and be like, oh, it's all about the baby. It's all about the baby. It's all about the baby. So I find it a little odd. I'm not mom shaming. I just find it a little odd. I don't know. Maybe these people think differently than I do. Maybe I'm more traditional.
But she's a celebrity. Celebrities make their
She
money
is.
on being seen and being heard. So
She
I
is.
think a lot of them feel the pressure to get out there, be seen and photographed.
Yeah,
and,
and-
you know.
You're completely right. It's not fair to compare her to normal people.
Right.
Because they're not normal people.
No, not at all.
They're not.
You
So
know.
they're not going to do normal people things.
No. You want people talking about, oh my gosh, look how much weight she lost. She looks amazing. So I think there's a reason behind everything a celebrity does.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they have to keep up appearances. Unlike normal individuals, we could stay at home with the
Right.
baby and, be perfectly content, but, they have to do their red carpet stuff.
Absolutely.
Hey, red carpet. Yay. But let's talk a little more about Rita Ora, which I thought was completely random. Is that the next one? What do you have next? No. What is that?
So let's go to the next one.
Next one. Yeah. So Rita Ora, back to our lemonade conversation, it was rumored that she was one of the individuals that Jay-Z was, having an affair with. And she happens to be wearing the same dress that Beyonce wore in one of her videos.
Scandalous.
Strange.
I saw another picture of her wearing a yellow bikini
Lemons.
with the J charm.
Yeah.
That's even more. Yeah, that was pretty questionable right there.
It's weird. I don't know what's going on with these
Yeah.
people. It's like, are they trying to get us? Are they for real, or are they just trying to get us to talk? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they want to get their name out. They want to get the buzz going. So they do little things to get you talking. And it's working.
Yeah, it's definitely working, and that's a weird dress. Would you wear that?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, like what is that writing on it? It's just ugly.
Oh, you don't want the Beehive coming after our show now.
Oh yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah, it's funny. I posted something on Facebook and I hashtag Beehive, and I'm like, oh no, I don't.
what did you do?
I'm like, they're gonna come
Yeah.
after me.
That is
Yeah.
not good.
Just the whole thing with the, I don't know, the Beehive. Like, I know they're fans and everything like that, but like they're going after. They don't even know who it is. They don't even know if it's really true or not. They're going
Right.
after everybody. They go after Rachel Roy, and
Right.
then some of them get confused and start going after Rachel
Rachel
Ray.
Ray.
So Rachel Ray wakes up in the morning and she's got all this freaking hate. It's like she must have been like, "What is going on here?" Now they're going after this girl over here. That's where when you said it before. You know what? At this point, maybe Beyonce should say something.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
really, it's not cool. They're
Yeah.
gonna keep going after one after the other, and she's just gonna let it happen. She really has to say something.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you know?
she's
got a lot of influence. I mean, you remember she said that one thing about Red Lobster, and all of a sudden Red Lobster sales go through the roof.
Yeah.
She knows. She's not stupid. She knows that what she says, every line in that song, in her music, is going to be scrutinized, and she had to know that this was going to happen. And at this point right now, she should tweet something. She doesn't have to make a statement, but she should tweet something or
Right.
something,
Yeah, some clarification.
Stop the
Yeah.
cyberbullying. It's
Yeah.
not
Some
cool.
clarification. And I mean, that's one of the things I like about Beyonce is she's very mysterious. I do like the way, that visual album dropped that one year. I think it was around Christmas. I thought that was really cool. But, like LA said, the jig is up. Like,
And
let
they
us
should-
know what's going on.
They should be more mad at Jay-Z. I mean, what? He has nothing to do with it.
Right.
It's all the girl's fault. I mean, come on,
Always.
it takes two to
Jay-Z,
tango.
What's going on?
Everyone's always mad at the women all the time.
What are you doing, Jay-Z?
Oh, who are you doing, Jay-Z?
Exactly. Rachel Roy. I see her clothes in Macy's.
I think I like some pieces.
Yeah, I like some pieces too.
She looks a little like Kim Kardashian.
Ooh.
I thought.
Yeah, she
so.
does.
Just a little
They've got
bit.
that Middle
Not
Eastern
like she's
thing
trying
going
to do it,
on.
but just she's got that little, that look about
Dark
her.
hair.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly.
Yeah, but she's natural, I think. She's natural. Plastic surgery. How do you feel about plastic surgery?
I do it.
I would
I'm
do
all
it too.
for it.
If I needed it, I would do it. I think it's one of those things that if you need, you do. If something is completely bugging you, get it fixed.
Yeah, I mean, you only live once. I just can't stand celebrities who we can obviously see that you've had work and you
trying to deny it. Come
deny,
on.
you know,
Come on.
yeah.
You know, your contouring can only go so far,
Right.
sweetie.
So that's we don't
We don't like.
but we do like Style Watch. And for this week, I chose Taraji P. Henson.
What's she wearing? Let me see.
I love her style. Even way before her Empire days, I've always admired her hair. Her hair is always healthy looking.
Sleek. On point.
Love her, love her. Of course, I get a kick out of Cookie's outfits. They're, more outlandish for my taste, but on a regular day-to-day, I love her style.
Yes. And let's go to my style crush, Solange. This is Beyonce's little sister. I love the way she puts prints together, and everything is always so tailored and fitted, and she rocks her natural hair like there's no tomorrow. I just think she always looks bright and colorful. Lipstick is popping. I think she has a really good style. Like, she'll put two prints together that don't even go together, but
And she can pull it off.
yeah, she could pull it off. I don't know what it is. She's got the je ne sais quoi.
Ow.
Hey. Yeah, she should work in fashion. Like, why doesn't she have her own fashion column
line.
at Elle or something?
Right.
You know what I mean? She kills it. She really does. That's her thing.
Love her.
Yeah, Solange, go Solange. Okay. Yeah.
Well, this is always my favorite part of the show.
Yeah, it is.
Eye candy. So this week I chose the hot Tyler Lepley.
Hey.
So he's best known for his part on Tyler Perry's hits The Have and Have Nots. And ladies, he's on the market. According to him, he is single and looking, and he wants to have something that his parents have. They've been married for quite a while, so he is on the lookout for that good girl. He also just had a birthday last month. He's an Aries.
Yay.
Loving him.
Yeah, and let's go to my. You know what? I mentioned this earlier. This is the first time our guys kind of look similar. But, my guy shaved his head. This is the tennis star James Blake. And he was recently in the news last year, I think, because he got arrested. But it was like a false report. They mistaked him for somebody else. And, he got arrested around the Grand Hyatt on 42nd Street. And I was like, damn, I just missed him. We're working like around the corner from there. And I was like, damn, I just missed it. I just missed him. But yeah, he's a very good looking guy. He's, tennis star. He's from the Bronx. I mean, he's from Yonkers, but I say he's from the Bronx. So, he's from our hood. He keeps it real. Good smile.
Hottie.
Yay. Go James. Yay. All right. So relationship topics. What do we have to discuss? You know what I have to discuss?
What?
I've been meaning to talk about this for a while. So now I'm going to talk about it. How do you feel, if you're on a date with someone and, it comes time to pay and they decide to pay with a Groupon? Now, those of you who aren't familiar with Groupon, it's, a website where you get discounted prices for restaurants, dining, all kinds of entertainment. And there's serious discounts. I mean, like over 50% off. So, it's in your best interest if you want to save some money to do Groupon. But some guys use these coupons on dates with women.
I don't think it's appropriate for a first date. I think that you should be making a good impression, and a good impression would be to be prepared financially, mentally.
Don't be broke.
Yeah. So I just think that's not a good look on a first date.
Yeah, but here's the deal. What if let's take an example. Say some guy is in grad school. Oh wait, hold up. Let's pause. Let's take this caller. Hello.
Hi, this is Joe from Staten Island.
Hey, Joe.
How are you?
How are you tonight?
I just wanted to comment on the comment that one of the callers made earlier about forgiveness.
What's up?
Yeah, when I'm divorced. I've been divorced for like 4 years now.
Hey.
But I got married. I found the right one. I'm happy. Everything's good. But in order for me to really get to that next level in my current relationship, and be happy and be truly happy, I had to forgive my old one for being such a biatch. Can I say that on the air?
Yes.
I had to forgive. You see, like I say it now, I can laugh about it and joke about it. But before, like, I was like really upset, and I would have dreams where I would like literally just be like punching her out and stuff like that, and throwing her, just straight like destroying her, just like throwing her off of cliffs and stuff like that.
Oh my.
Didn't stand her. It was bad. It was bad. But God actually came to me in the dream and told me that I had to forgive her. It's the only way I could move on. And it clicked, and then everything was better from there.
And Joe, let me ask you: was that forgiveness? Was that more for you, or was it more for her?
It's more for you, because what happens when you do that, it's not so much forgiving, because it's not really forgiving. What you're doing is you're letting go. You allow yourself to get beyond a conflict by no longer giving a crap about it.
Right.
If you're indifferent to something, you can love someone, you can hate somebody, but the worst thing you could do is be indifferent. It's good. You don't give them any energy. It's like when you see two people fighting back and forth all the time, which is essentially what a bad relationship is. It's two people fighting back and forth all the time. They're giving each other the energy, and that's what continues a relationship. But if one person says, "Oh, I don't want to do this anymore," and then, peace out, I'm out, then you're no longer giving that energy. So the relationship ends.
Yes, and that energy goes towards something that's more fruitful and productive.
Right. So I was conducting myself in that way, but what she was doing, I was like sending divorce papers, like she was delaying signing them. She was doing all this little slick stuff, trying to, kind of, I don't know. I said she was holding me hostage. Just let me go. I want to go, be on my own. But also, you mentioned, you can't believe how men lose a lot of money from divorce. Yeah. I got off easy. I only paid $5,000 to my lawyer, and then that's it. Wow. But I know guys that are getting taken to the cleaners right now.
What is it? Is it the alimony?
They some of them, they do ask for a little bit of money. Like if you're making a few bucks, they'll ask for some money. And if you have a kid, they can ask for child support.
Right, kids.
So I mean, you don't have to be married to be hit up for child support, though. You just have to have a child.
Right.
But I know guys who's getting taken to the cleaners. They had to move back in with their parents. And I know one guy, he went and he put tattoos on himself after the divorce, and he's like putting all this crazy stuff on Facebook, and just all this bravado, and you could see through it. You're like, this guy's hurting. This guy's hurting real bad because his wife cheated on him and stuff, and he just got a really bad
Right.
And a lot of it is honesty. The relationship is bad. Is this what you want?
Right.
And you got to be honest with yourself and be like, all right, I don't really want this, or you know what, I do want this. We got to be honest with ourselves, and we got to stop lying to people, especially ourselves.
And it definitely comes to the point where thank you, Joe, for your phone call. It definitely comes to the point where you ask yourself, hey, am I happy in this relationship?
Right. And do I want better for myself? Is this how I want to live the rest of my life? I know when you get married, it's for better or for worse, but you have to make smart decisions.
You do. That was an interesting phone call, and I'm glad Joe from Staten Island, I'm glad he clarified that financial part, because that was really irking me. I'm always thinking that guys are always making a whole bunch of money, and divorce costs money.
It does,
especially when kids are involved. So be careful. When you're choosing who you're going to marry. This is a big life decision.
Absolutely.
And it goes back to our book series, Divorced and Scared No More by Tasha and Tony Hayes. Make sure you check that out. 3-part series book on Amazon.
Cool.
Yes.
So what do you think about rules when dating in a non-committed relationship?
This is what that commercial where people's brains are like popping.
Yeah.
And like the purple dust comes out. Well, that's what happens to me when I think about this, because when there's no rules, when there's no titles, I get confused and it stresses me out because I don't know what to do. I'm like,
I think it's more like an unspoken rule. Like you guys have been dating. He doesn't want to commit for whatever reason, but you don't want to move on and face someone else's demons. So you stick around and you guys may have a sexual relationship, but you're not dating other people. So do you think that it's fair to start seeing other people, or just let him know, listen, this isn't working for me and I want to cut things off completely?
You know what's unfortunate? A lot of times in those types of relationships, one partner starts to have feelings. So there's an imbalance. Maybe it's the female, maybe it's the male. A lot of times it's the female, she'll start to have, an emotional attachment, and she'll start asking some questions, some uncomfortable questions, and that'll push the guy further away. Now, I'm just generalizing, but a lot of times this is what happens in those types of relationships.
Yeah.
And, someone ends up heartbroken.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. So I think that if this person doesn't want to commit to you, you should just move on, but let him or her know that you plan to move on. I don't think you should just start seeing people and he find out that you're on dating websites. I think it should be a conversation. Definitely.
But what if that person is so selfish, and these people do exist, that they don't want to commit to you, but they don't want you to go either. So you're kind of stuck in a limbo because you have feelings for them. And this is where stuff gets really complicated. You have feelings for them, and you hold on because you think there might be a chance. But after, what should you do? Should you give yourself a time limit?
I think everyone has their breaking point. So I can't sit here and say, okay, after a year of this foolishness, just cut it off. But I think when you've had enough, or you've met someone else who, is offering more promise that you would like to pursue, you'll get rid of that person.
Right. But it's hard to meet someone else sometimes because all of your energies are going to that relationship.
Individual.
That's a dead end. It's not going anywhere, but everyone can see it, but you just don't see it.
Right.
And you could waste years. That's the unfortunate part.
It's unfortunate. But again, I say to each his own, and at some point you will have enough and just leave.
Yeah, but what if you're like a female, and then the point where you've had enough is when you're like 40?
Well, then that's your bad. Come on.
So you're bad. You get it together. Come on. You gotta ask yourself that question. Like Joe from Staten Island, he asked, how do I feel in this relationship?
Right.
Sometimes the bottom line is just, am I happy?
Right. Is this person contributing to my happiness? Is also a key factor, because if this person is doing nothing for you but providing good sex here and there, I don't think that's enough to sustain a relationship.
It's absolutely not enough.
No.
Come on. You got to bring more than that to the table.
Yeah.
Dudes. Come on, dudes. You got to bring some emotional support, right?
Yeah.
I have a question too. Should you, and I was just thinking about this, recently. We all have exes, and a lot of times what happens with exes is you get involved, not just with them, but you get involved with their families as well. Their mothers, their cousins, their siblings, whatever. You become attached to their family. But when you break up with that ex, should you stop talking to the family also? What if you're cool with them?
No, I think once the relationship is severed, it's time to move on, because I have a cousin actually who was in a similar situation, and he didn't want us talking to his ex-wife, but she became friendly with us, so it can be a very hairy situation. So I think it's just best, once those ties are severed, just move on.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I have a caller who called in. Actually she wrote in, but she said that she was with her ex for a long time, and really cool with the ex's mother, but once the relationship had ended, the mother was texting her like, hey, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Birthday, all these kinds of significant events, and she just stopped responding to the text messages. I think that's completely cool. That's something that I would advocate for. Right. Is you're not being rude, I mean, mother would know at that point that you're not dealing with the son anymore.
Right.
And, she would kind of, catch on and get it, I mean, it's not like, you're cursing the mother out.
Right. I mean, as long as you're respectful, there's no need to be nasty, but I would just explain to the family that, listen, Michael and I, have split, as you know, and I think it's easier for the both of us if we just move on and, I won't be contacting you guys any longer.
Yeah, definitely. I am a huge advocate of breaking up with the family as well. Well, and what's the point of keeping in contact?
Right.
Because you know what they're going to do? They're going to make you feel bad. They're going to give you updates. You're like, oh, so-and-so's getting married. It's like, you really need to know that.
Yeah.
I mean, it ended. Just end everything.
And sometimes they try to actually get you back together,
Like they know what's going on or knew what went on.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah, just leave it alone. Let it roast because it already roasted and it's burnt,
Yeah.
We spoke a little bit, actually in the car ride over here, we spoke a little bit about defense mechanisms that certain individuals use.
Absolutely. I think, it's popular for men nowadays to claim they're not ready to settle down or they don't care to settle down. They're living the bachelor life. And
when did that become cool?
I don't know. It's never been cool to me. But for men, I think in the past maybe 10 years, it's okay to be a player no matter how old you are. I just think that's a defense mechanism because they haven't, one, found someone that they like, or two, afraid of getting hurt. But you cannot prevent heartbreak.
No, I think it's a defense mechanism because they ugly.
You cannot prevent heartbreak. So I just think with love, you have to take a chance and be an adult.
No, you ugly.
No, you're not ugly, guys.
No, you're ugly and nobody's going to want you. So you put up a defense mechanism. That's part of it.
I'm not co-signing. LA, what do you think? Do you think men should grow up and, I want a relationship or just have this playboy lifestyle until they're 40 something?
Oh, well, I'm guilty of that.
Oh my gosh. We have a culprit.
But you have a caller?
Culprit.
Yeah, I spent my whole life just looking for the perfect, most awesome, beautiful girl.
She doesn't exist.
Exactly,
okay, go on.
And that's when I realized that. But yeah, you know what? I'm feeling my decisions now. Try dating at an older age. You're not going to find a single woman without kids who hasn't been divorced, who, is just a tremendous amount of baggage. I'm not saying that negatively, but when you're younger, you could have a fresh start with somebody.
Right.
And when you wait and you wait and you wait, by the time you're ready, you not going to have many choices.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, it's okay. You don't want to get married too young. You want to play around. You want to have fun. You want to get all that stuff out of your system.
Yeah.
But I think by the time a man gets to be 30 years old, he really needs to, like me, I was 40 when I started to, which to me, in my opinion, was 10 years late.
Mm-hmm.
I should have, So, yeah, I'm not, it's hard to, tell guys to not be playboys and stuff. They're always trying to impress their friends and all that stuff. But one day they realize there's more important stuff than trying to impress your boys. There's no perfect girl, and you got to find that one girl that you can get along with. You have a lot in common, and forget about all your boys. It's not about them, So you just got to worry about yourself.
I agree with everything you just said.
That was so dead on.
Yeah, but you know what? It's like we don't see that right away. You know what I'm saying? Like I could say that now, but like 10 years ago, I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a man has got to get to that point by himself. You know what I'm saying? You can't push him. It's weird. Some guys get it earlier. Some guys get it later. Some guys don't get it at all.
Oh, yeah.
But
That's so
you
sad.
got to get it eventually. And honestly, the earlier you get it, the better off you're going to be.
But let me ask you, is there something that triggers that? Or is it just something that naturally happens over time?
About being a playboy or
coming to that maturity point where you're like, okay, you know, I got to get serious with someone. I realize that, you know, there's no perfect woman.
It's, you know, I look at it like this. It's like, you know, everybody says, oh, a woman has a biological clock. You know what? A man does too. I mean, not, you know, in that way of having children or anything like that, but you get to be a certain age and you're like, wait a minute. You know, you look around, you know, you have all your friends that are married, they have children, they have families, they have homes, and it's like, it starts to hit you, you know, and you start to say, whoa, you know, what did I do, you know, and I don't know, you know, I'm not saying rush into anything or settle, but you have to get to the point where you realize, forget your boys, forget trying to impress people. You're the person that's going to be spending the rest of your life with that woman. So don't worry about anybody else but you. You got to get along. She's got to make you happy. She's not going to be perfect. You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. You're always going to have these little, you know, things or pet peeves. You know, you're not going to like everything about the person.
Absolutely.
You know, the girl I'm engaged to now, you know, is like, I always thought, you know, she's a talker. She loves to talk, you know, and a guy could be like, oh, you know, she just never shuts up. She never shuts up. But you know what? I would rather have a girl that talks than a girl that just doesn't say anything. And I could leave her with my mom and she can just talk to my mom for 20 minutes, 30 minutes over, you know, on and on.
Yeah.
And, so some things you may not find, you know, that are, you know, you think are negative may not really be such a negative, you know.
Yeah.
So
Right. Looking on the bright side of things. And to correct you, men actually do have biological clocks.
Yeah, that's what I said. They do. Not necessarily
Okay.
as far as bearing children, but, you know, you definitely, you don't want to be too old. You don't want to be raising your child, you know, and you're 50 years old and they're just turning 9. You know,
Right.
it's like you want to be out there playing ball with your kid. You want to have the energy and to be able to keep up with your children and set, you know, take them and do things. So you definitely don't want to be the old parent. You know, I was that way with my dad. My mother had me when she was 40 years old. Back then, it was not a safe thing to do.
40?
Yeah.
Wow.
And, you know, I didn't have really a relationship with my father. You know, like he was always working. And I didn't play ball with him. You know, thank God I had older brothers and sisters. I was the youngest, you know, so I was always, you know, I always had something to do. But I didn't really have a good relationship with my father until the end of his life when he was retired. And, you know, and I was living at home because I was taking care of my parents. I got to know my dad like so deep and, you know, in the last years of his life. Every day, waking up, having breakfast, dinner, you know, talking to him, asking questions. So you want to, you know, you definitely want to have a good relationship with your parents. And when there's too big of an age gap, it kind of, it could hurt
makes
it
it a little bit
Disconnect.
difficult.
Right.
So there's a few reasons, but yeah, you definitely don't want to wait too long, you know. Just have an open mind. Forget about looking for perfection because, you know, it's not out there.
It's not.
You know?
It's not out there, unfortunately.
No. But I think that's a good way to end the show.
Oh, absolutely. So thank you for tuning in to Simply Real. Once again, make sure you check out our YouTube channel at Simply Real. That's 2 E's, EEL. And make sure you check out that Divorced and Scared No More book series by Tasher and Tony Hayes. Catch it on Amazon. It's very affordable. Yep.
All right. Well, signing off, guys. We love you for watching and check you later.
Peace.